WEFUNK. We funk.
And I talked about him a little bit earlier, but I guess the number 4 fight that I want to see go down in 2020, but give me a Canelo Triple G, now or never, as a last dance for a third installment of Triple G and Canelo would need to take place in 2020. And I guess nobody's really clamoring for this one, except for Golovkin, of course. I guess nobody in there, not as much of the boxing world, crazed for the 3-match. I guess just with all of the other action going on in the sport, but for a rivalry that meant so much to the revitalization and just rejuvenation of interest and excitement in the sport that we've talked about over the last couple of years. Really, the beginning of all of that was the great Golovkin-Alvarez rivalry of the first 2 classic fights and the controversial decisions and all of that went into the first 2 classic Golovkin-Alvarez fights. And like I mentioned, for a rivalry that meant so much to the sport, especially for Golovkin, who really was, over the kind of the dark years of the sport in the, mid and late 2000s, where it was just so dominated by, Mayweather being the only star and just, all of the negativity around him ducking Pacquiao and all of the bad decisions with the judges and all of just the negativity that went on in the sport, leading, headlined by the whole Mayweather-McGregor whole, exhibition situation that went on, with that really being the biggest story in the sport in, how many years. But I guess other than that, for real fight fans, the only really thing going on was the domination of Golovkin and the knockout streak, and then of course the epic rivalry of fights versus Alvarez, with the first one kind of, of course, the controversial draw. Most people felt Triple G got the win. The judges call it a draw, leading to the sequel, which was another classic with a little bit more controversy, as Canelo officially getting the decision. However, guys like myself feel probably more inclined to be a draw, where Alvarez definitely put together a much better fight in the sequel than the first one. So I guess from that standpoint, it would be logical that, he would go from a draw to a win. However, the first fight was so poorly decided in my book that really, Canelo's improvement in the second fight really only leveled it off in my book. But the second fight kind of up for debate. The first fight, really most people feel Golovkin won. However, unanimously agreed that both fights were amazing and just really, great for the sport when they went down. Just a much-needed, pure, classic boxing rivalry going down between Golovkin and Canelo. However, still feel a little unfinished business in the works with the 2 questionable decisions, and the fact that Golovkin's dying for the fight makes fight fans wish upon a 3-match as well, which is kind of the camp that I'm sitting in, especially with Canelo kind of, wafting around, and the matchup versus the Crusher turned into another epic and another classic moment and a notch in Canelo's belt and all of that, going up to light heavyweight, winning a belt at another division against another all-time fighter. It's an amazing, moment and achievement for Canelo in that matchup. But now with him kind of, undecided, is he he's already unified middle, is he gonna go fight relatively unknown fighters at super middleweight, is he gonna, what is he gonna do? Well, Golovkin's out there dying for a 3-match. How about we put it on one more time before it's too late, a la Pacquiao Mayweather, which is unfortunately what I believe is the cunning business strategy of Canelo, who I've talked about it before, but is a truly great, perhaps his greatest attribute is in the business of boxing and pulls all the right strings, from the business standpoint. And I kind of feel he's waiting out Golovkin's golden years to continue to pass him by and waiting to finally give that third matchup when Golovkin's a couple years older, couple years slower, couple years weaker. Canelo has a couple years more of an opportunity to win that match, as Canelo, from his standpoint, says he's done with the rivalry. He needs to prove nothing. They fought twice. He hasn't lost once. That's his standpoint, and that's the official, tally on the records. And I guess he doesn't need to prove it to your boy Big LW, but he goddamn should. As it's truly will be a relative blemish on the career and resume of Canelo if he does not, if they really don't fight a third time, he does not get a definitive win over Golovkin. Everybody will always say, yeah, but the refs hosed Golovkin in the first one, and that will always kind of be, a part of the story with Golovkin if they never finish off that three match. And like I said, really just with the sport excelling in so many other divisions with so many other big stars at this time, if you wait till 2021, 2022, people are going to care even less than they already don't now. So if we want to have any chance of me hosting friends over for another Golovkin Canelo matchup, it better be now or never. So in 2020, I would love to see the epic last dance of the three match: Triple G versus Canelo the King, which is the nickname I've just given him. But number 4 fight I hope to see 2020. Triple G and Canelo one more time.
Big F! WEFUNK. We funk.